Watch this video if you're having the same problem I am with crawling glazes. Either during application, so you put one layer on and then when you apply a second layer, it peels off or cracks. Or you discover it after the fire is cooled, leaving bare areas like this. So frustrating, but I found a solution with CMC, the same ingredient I think they use in IHOP pancakes. I just want to show you the issue that we're dealing with here has to do with the softness or the weakness of the glaze. You see how when I'm rubbing my finger over, it might be hard to see, but that this glaze just flakes right off. It just comes right off. And it's worse on the lip where the glaze will shrink the most, and then it will just, oftentimes it'll start to crack before you even touch it, but then it'll just come off so easily. And this produces terrible crawling in the fire. It's not worth firing this. This mug is going in the garbage. What I've discovered is that at about 0.5% for your total batch is the right amount. You do have a trade-off with CMC, and it makes your glazes a bit more runny. This typically is used when we want our glazes for brushing instead of for dipping or pouring, and it makes the glaze kind of dry slower so that you can brush it on more evenly. It also makes the glaze harder, and because it's a gum, I think what's happening is it's making the glaze a little bit more elastic. My problem right now is that I need to add this to a already mixed glaze. There's already water. I've already been using it, failing, but using it. So here's what I've discovered. What I did before I started this is I mixed up 350 milliliters of hot water, and 30 grams is 0.5% of the 6,000 grams that I added to my glaze, which is my glaze, before the water. And I'm just adding this to the water. It's gonna make a terrible mess in there. It does not want to mix. This tool I use all the time. This we need to use to mix this up, blend it thoroughly. The CMC makes this gloppy, goopy mess mix, but that's what we need. Ideally, what we would do is just, when we're mixing up the glaze originally, we would add this powder to it and then do a dry mix. Add the CMC to the glaze and mix it up. But the one thing that I would say is that you have to, once this is mixed up, you have to screen it again. Otherwise, it will have bits and lumps from the CMC that were not mixed up with the immersion blender. Handy dandy mixer. But have a look, you can see all the chunks in there. See all the little bits? But I use this wire mesh, I think it's 80. The addition of CMC to my glazes has, in the past one day, kind of just radically changed my interaction with my glazes. I can put them on, I can layer them, whereas before I was trying all kinds of different techniques, desperately trying to get the pots to glaze without cracking, without crawling, without having issues, and it was driving me insane. As I said, the CMC makes the glazes dry slower. You have to stand here and wait longer. But if you're in the situation that I was in, where I was throwing away 60 pots a week, full kiln load, a few extra minutes holding the pots is welcomed. So CMC, 0.5% to your total volume. So if In my case, it was a 6,000 gram batch, then 30 grams. Use a calculator if you're like me. There you have it. My my battle with glaze application and my, hopefully, I haven't done a fire yet, solution with the 0.5% CMC.